Alright, Dean Davison Live, weatherblogs.com meteorologist here for your severe weather outlook for 2011. I said I was going to do this, and I want to put things together. I want to make sure that people understand that La Niñas usually mean more active severe weather seasons. Why is this? Let's start with the jet stream pattern. I'm going to draw the most jet stream patterns in the Midwest at this point will be digging in to the Midwest. What that'll do is it'll put more potent systems up here in the northern plains, drop the dry line and the cold fronts right here in the Midwest United States and Dixie Alley. Those areas are usually the ones that get more severe weather during a La Nina season. You're going to get, on average, an average season of tornadoes normally in a flat line in the middle between La Nina and El Nino, and an El Nino season usually get less because of the way the pattern's set up. But with the jet stream coming in, what it'll allow it to do is get a lot more Gulf moisture. A lot more Gulf moisture will push in from the Gulf of Mexico. It'll open up the Gulf, per se. It's going to crash into these disturbances that come across in Nebraska, Kansas, and that area, and what that'll do is it'll light up the Midwest United States with tornadoes. This is a good season if you are a storm chaser, because you have a better chance of seeing tornadoes in the Midwest. Also, Dixie Alley Dixie Alley consists of the southeastern United States, and then there's also Carolina Alley, east of the Blue Ridge. But what we got here is the fact that this jet stream cuts where it does. It allows the storms to also tap that Gulf moisture, and it gets further east, the Atlantic moisture. The low-level jet kicks in, and we get more rotating thunderstorms, i.e. more tornadoes. So that's one of the reasons that we get more tornadoes on a year with a La Nina year. If you look at January, this is so far 2011, okay, and then we'll go back. This goes back to 2008. Here we go. What happens here? We have 30 in 2010 and only 8 this year. You say, oh man, we're going to be under. We're actually going to be under. This is preliminary. We're actually be under. Well, if you look at 2009, what happens there? Same thing is happening here in 2011. 59 versus 1 last year. 36. So we look at last year, 33 in March, but 115. So what do we see here? Everything here seems to spike up March and April time. And if we get the La Nina sticking the way it's becoming now, we actually will see more tornadoes in May and June. But the aspect of it dropping off is unlikely. Really, in 2008, we can see where the spiking is going on here. So a 3-year average will show 40, 61 in, so we're just slightly below average on a 3-year average. 92 in March, and it really ramps up. So expect over 13, about 1,300 is a good number for amount of tornadoes that occur. And these normally occur in the Midwestern United States. But we also know that this La Nina year will also spike the probability of tropical development. And when that happens, we're looking at tornadoes on the coastal regions. North Carolina, Virginia, New Jersey even has had tornadoes based on tropical systems, whether they're tropical storms or if they're hurricanes. More tornadoes occur with more hurricanes, and more hurricanes happens usually with a La Nina year. People that may be new to this site, here's Tornado Alley. This blue outlined area is Tornado Alley. We do get tornadoes in every state. I'm going to tell you that right now. Every state has had a tornado. So every state is not going to get as many as these states that are outlined in blue, but tornadoes do occur everywhere. We got neutral years, La Nina years, and El Nino years. It does show that most La Nina years do have more tornadoes, but El Nino years also can do the same. So there's a lot of research going on whether La Nina or El Nino cause more tornadoes. Statistically, La Nina does. but look, El Nino ain't too far behind. So it's how the pattern's set up. Like I started in the beginning with, you need to have the pattern be right to get that tornado threat, and to have the jet streams cut where they're cutting up through like Nebraska or North Dakota. That's going to give you more tornadoes in Tornado Alley. I did mention tropical cyclone based storms. This is 1995 here for you. Look, Florida, Georgia. You can read the areas where these tropical cyclones cause tornadoes. And the list goes on and on and on. So tropical cyclones are a big, here we go, Virginia, 1996, 96. Let's think about that for a minute. What was that? A La Nina year. 1996 was a La Nina year. And look at the amount of tornadoes, especially tropical cyclone tornadoes in 1996. So you can see there's a huge spike there. La Nina years cause more hurricanes, generally, and more hurricanes cause more tornadoes or landfall when they do happen. So you can statistically get more tornadoes that way. So a lot to look at, a lot of information, but very interesting information by far to understand. Remember what I said, especially when I showed the monthly outlook, you had that ridge. What that ridge will actually generalize more severe weather up in the Texas and Oklahoma area. Will get a lot of tornadoes, and Kansas. That's going to be your bullseye for more tornadoes, especially when we get into April-May time period. But with a ridging pattern this month, you might get more tornadoes here in Dixie Alley versus here in the Midwest. So if it ridges and troughs in the east, you're going to get that more powerful kick in the eastern United States, which is going to allow Dixie Alley to get more until the pattern shifts and becomes more neutral. Then you're going to get more tornadoes in the Midwest United States. So a little bit of information for you. I'm going to post some in a text version so I can show some stuff. But I just want to give you a generalized overview. So an above average tornado season is likely here in the United States. For liveweatherblogs.com, meteorologist Dean Davis.